Hello guys, Teja here. So let's start our today's coding session, that is an addition program using graphical user interface. For that we are going to use the Python tkinter library. So first of all, import the tkinter. Now the second line, create a window using the tk. Now we don't need to use the alias of the tkinter library because we have imported using the from function, and we have used the star to import everything from it. Now create a main loop. Okay, that's it. Now the widgets will get added in between these two lines. Okay. So to add to the labels, first I'm gonna create a label, that is label first number is equal to a label which will get added to the windows that we have created above. Okay, and the text for it will be simply the first number, isn't it? Yeah. And the second number's label will be label for the second number, and just change the text over here. That's it guys. Now let's add these two labels on the window. So for that we are going to use the grid function. Okay, dot grid. Okay, we are gonna add it on the window. The row number will be 0 and the column will be 0 for the first label. Do the same for the second label. Okay, change the row number. Okay, now let's create an entry for the first and second number. So for the first number, I'm gonna name it first number entry. So EF and O will be an entry. Okay, so it will get added on the windows, and its width will be we can say that 15, which is sufficient. Yes. Create same for the second number as well. So the entry for the second number, that's it. Now add a grid method first to add these two entries on the now window. Okay, so change the row number for the first one and column number 2. Okay, do the same for the second entry. For the second entry, both will be 1. Okay, now the second task. So first of all, save and run this code. Okay, so we have successfully added the labels and the entries on the window. Okay, now let's create a button first to add these two numbers. Okay, so to create a button, I'm gonna take a add button variable. Okay, it will be a button. Yes, isn't it? It will be added on the window. Okay, the text for it will be add. Okay, you can give any text, and command will be simply you can name it anything. I'm gonna name it as add. So create the function above the button variable. So the name will be add. Okay. Now let's get the first number into this variable. So how to get that? We need to get that number from the first entry text box. Okay, so the what is the name of the first entry box or text box of the first number? E, F and O that we have created above. Now we need to get the text using the get method. But one thing to make clear over here is whenever we use this get function, we will get the content of that text box as a string. And in case of addition, we cannot add two strings, right? We can concat them, but we cannot add them, okay, in mathematical language. So for that, we need to convert this string into the integer. So how to do that? Simply use a integer function over here. Okay. Now let's do the same for the second number. Remember to change the variable names properly. Okay. So we have get both numbers over here as an number, not as an string. Okay. What this code will do, this will get the first numbers and second numbers entry as a text, and integer will be convert them immediately into the numbers and will assign to its relevant variable. Okay. Now create the result label. So the result will be addition of two numbers and we are gonna print it as a label. Okay. So that label will be added onto the window and its text will be set as our addition. Okay. So we are going to print the addition directly. We are not gonna print any string over here. So first number plus second number. That's it. Okay. Now add this label and the button on the window. Okay, so the grid method will be come into inside the function for the label, but before that add the button. I'm gonna create it on a separate row. Okay, the row number will be 2 and I'm gonna add it below the entries or the text boxes, so the column number will be 1. Okay, now for the result, the row number will be 2. I'm gonna print it on the same row as the button, okay? And the column number will be 0. Now let's run this code and see the output. Okay, so grid row number is 2. Okay, so the name is okay. Okay, now run this code. The button name was spelled incorrectly. Okay, not a big problem. Now let's add 10 and 20. So I have given the 10 and 20 as number, and now let's click on add and we get 30 as our result. Now you can do a lots of things with this code. You can resize the window, resize the text boxes. Okay, as per your choice, you can color them, you can change the borders. Okay, and your task will be to create a subtraction, multiplication and division button. Okay, okay, you can add them on a separate row. Okay, and print the results on the separate label. Or okay, so this was all for today. Okay, now uh, if you want a simple task, if you observe this code, this is a little bit you know, flipped. So your task will be add this button below the label and the result will be printed below the text boxes. Is it simple? Yes, you just need to change the grid methods, rows and column values. Okay, that's it. Not a big task. Okay. If you want that I should explain how these rows and column numbers are interpreted, then I will explain it in the next class. Okay. Till then, keep coding. Bye.